Hi, my name is Joshua. I'm with Urban Defense Institute. You can check us out on urbandefenseinstitute.com. You can check out our Facebook page. We're on YouTube and Twitter. You can please go check out our blog and make sure to sign up for the newsletter for any exciting news that we may have coming up. Today I'm going to do a quick review on the A.R.S, which stands for Attack, Rescue, Survive. This is the A.R.S dog tag knife. One of the things I really like about the A.R.S dog tag knife is the fact that right now everybody's wearing dog tags. I mean, it's the thing. You can get dog tags with just about anything on them. So when you have something that is so commonplace, the fact that it's a knife is so out of place, and most people aren't really going to think that you have a knife in your dog tag. So if you've seen any of our other reviews, any of the other things that we talk about, one of our big things is being a chameleon, hiding out and not letting people know what kind of gear you have, because then obviously you're the target. So we like stuff that's kind of hidden, and so what we're going to end up doing is with this right here, I'm going to go ahead and build a expedient urban, I guess, survival shelter, basically. What's the premise here is that we've found ourselves lost in a city somewhere or some urban environment that we're not familiar with. We have no place to stay, and what we currently have on us is a dog tag knife and maybe some other simple tools, and that's just about it. So we've got the dog tag knife and some of the other things that came with the dog tag knife. When you buy the dog tag knife, you go to ARSknives.com, and I think it's laststitchblade.com or last. When you buy this dog tag, you get what's a little button compass, just a small little compass. It's actually surprisingly accurate. Most of the button compasses that I've seen in the past are really not all that great and very inaccurate. I'm really surprised with how accurate this is. I'd be willing to count on this. It really does a great job. The other thing that comes with it is just a little Ferro Rod, and it's a small one, so it'll fit right into a wallet or anything, and you can keep it with you at all times. That way you always have some means for fire, because even in an urban environment, people don't think about it. They think all about the wilderness survival stuff, but even in an urban environment, you still need fire, you still need water, you still need shelter, you still need all the things that you need in the wilderness. It's just now you're in an urban environment and you still have to do these things. So anyways, I'm going to explain basically how to harvest these things, but I already have them just for expediency. You're going to want a couple of trash bags. You can get these obviously out of any trash can. I recommend going behind like an office building or something, because mostly what's probably going to be in it would be paper products, things like that. You empty it out and you're going to have a nice clean trash bag. You obviously don't want to get a trash bag from behind a restaurant. It's probably going to have a lot of grease and nasty stuff in it that you just don't want to be a part of. Anyway, so we've got a couple of trash bags there, and then just some string. I mean, just like anything, you can find it anywhere. If you go behind a dentist office, you can probably get like some dental floss, or I mean, just you can find string just about anywhere. It doesn't have to be a long piece. Just find a bunch of little pieces, whatever. That's perfectly sufficient. Anyways, what I've got is something I can tie to here. It's a fence. If it rains, I'm probably still going to get a little bit coming in on me, but that's what the second trash bag is going to be for. And then I found some kind of thing that I can anchor my shelter to. It could be a trash can. It could be basically anything that you find just sort of out and about. I happen to find this sitting around, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. Just go ahead and stabilize it there. And this, fortunately for me, this piece of wood happened to already be here. That's going to be a nice little thing to sit on there. And working for me pretty good. Clear our area here just a little bit. Okay, bring this on in. Because we're also going to need a fire. I also brought a billy can. I pre-made this one just for, again, expediency. You don't want to sit here and watch me build a billy can for 5 or 10 minutes. But it's very simple. You just take a big can. You can find one of these behind any restaurant or anything like that where they buy bulk foods that are going to come in a big can like this. You can even do like a half-size can is fine. And then you can use a nail or whatever. Just to be quick, I used like a can opener with a point on it. But put a series of holes around the bottom, a series of holes here, and then around here. And actually, this will be the bottom. And then I've got this hole right here, and it's going to set like that. So when there's fire in there, I can cook on this surface, and it's also going to provide heat and a little bit of warmth in my shelter if it's raining, cold, maybe winter, who knows. So, and I've already went around and collected up the stuff for my fire. I've got just a little can here. You can cook something in it if you need to or whatever, or maybe you actually have like a little can of soup. I'll show you how this just sits on. Alright, so let's get started building our shelter. First thing that we want to do is we're going to want to open this trash bag up. So let's go ahead and take off our dog tag knife here. Comes on this nice little chain that can also be used in a pinch if you need some kind of cordage or something and can't find anything. It's one of the ones that you can pretty much lock this in any of these spots in here and tighten it up if you need to. Anyways, when I pull it out, you can kind of see here. Let me come into the camera a bit. You can see here how it's got the A.R.S. logo right there, but it's got this nice little edge right there, and it's actually quite sharp, which I really like. And it has this little indent here. This is going to be for striking our Ferro Rod, which I'll show you in just a little bit. So let's go ahead and open up our bag here. Okay, I've got my bag. I've got this seam. Now I don't want to just start tearing on this, because if I just start tearing on it, what's going to happen is I'm just going to have a torn bag that's going to be easily ripped at some point in the future. So I just want to use my dog tag knife here and just kind of start cutting this right down the seam. See, this is just going to help make sure that I'm keeping it straight. It's going in a straight line. Because if I just were to rip it now and it went the wrong direction, then I've just ruined that bag. I'm going to have to go harvest another one. I don't want to have to do that. Okay, now I'm just going to go right along the bottom seam here, the bottom line. Okay, now I have this little makeshift tarp. It's not really wide, but you know, it's going to do what I need it to do. So now I'm going to go ahead and take a small piece of this string here. Use my dog tag here. Cut just a small chunk there. Now I want to run this through here and then pull it through. I don't want to put a hole in the bag and then tie it to the bag like that, because once you put a hole in plastic like this, it'll just continue to tear. So what I really want is just to run it through like this, fold it over, and then I'm going to just tie around that to hold it on there nice and tight. Keep it right together. That's going to hold pretty good. Get my second little chunk here. Getting rocks in my house. So I got it kind of tight here. It's going to help prevent the rain from falling down behind it. I mean, not completely. Obviously, there's a fence, it'll still come through, but every little bit helps. Okay. Now you can see we've got a little shelter there. And this happens to be perfect. Just the right distance out. Now you can see I've got it where it's kind of angling down like this. I did this for a reason. I need this rain to be able to run off and go someplace other than where I'm at. So I'll probably even actually lower one corner down just a little bit too, so it all goes to a corner. And I can kind of keep it directed going one way. So I'm going to go ahead and get a couple more of these. Now right now, I'm not So that might be a little short. Right now I'm not going to be able to run this around this like I did this. I mean, I could move it, but then I'm gonna end up cutting myself a little short there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little rock, okay, and I'm gonna put this right in the corner of my bag. I'm going to tie my string around it. Tight. Okay. Now this is the corner I want to be a little bit lower than the other, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of run this down here. Doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be functional. Alright, let's get myself another piece of string here. Find myself another rock. This will do. This corner here. So it's got the rock right in the corner there. I'm just kind of going around like that. By doing this, I'm avoiding having to put holes into this bag. Again, once you put a hole in a bag, it's going to tear there very easily. And this one is going to be higher, like this. Okay. Now you can see I've got just a little bit of an angle. I mean, I'm probably going to get some pooling, but that's okay. I can do that, and I can run it off that direction, which is where I'm going to want it to go. Okay. This bag here is going to be my poncho. My knife here. Anytime that you're going to cut against a surface, make sure it's against like wood or something. If you start cutting like, if I were to start cutting this against this concrete, I'm gonna waste my knife pretty fast, and then it's not going to be any use to me. So I want to make sure that I'm against a surface that's going to be okay for me to do some cutting without any real problem. So here we go. I've basically just created myself a little hole for my head, or maybe even just my face. I can pull it up over my head, and I'll show that to you in just a minute. Okay, so now I have my shelter ready. What needs to happen at this point is we need a little fire, whether it's for warmth or, again, for cooking. Let me go ahead and pull out my Ferro Rod. Now, the A.R.S. was designed that when it's in its little sheath, it's got the hole right there for the chain. When you're going to use your Ferro Rod, he's created a little notch right there that's perfect for striking the Ferro Rod. You're going to want to slip it back in its sheath, that way the edge is concealed and it's not going to cut you. And so anyways, to strike it, you're just going to hold your Ferro Rod and flick it, just like this, okay? Right now there's still a little bit of stuff on it. You'll just kind of scrape that stuff off, but you'll see, once that stuff is gone, I can really start throwing some good sparks down. Okay. So now, okay, now we're going to go ahead and start a fire here under our shelter. What I'm starting with is just a base of just cotton balls. You can get them behind probably most doctor's offices, dentist offices, things like that. If you you can't find cotton balls, and I recommend getting like toilet paper and kind of roughing it up a little bit and then making a little bed there. I've just taken these cotton balls and kind of pulled them apart. Now I've got all my stuff kind of all around already. You know, I've got some smaller twigs and just some starter. I also harvested some paper, and I made just little paper logs. Just twist it, helps them burn just a little bit longer. Paper towels, also good. So you want some stuff that's just going to help make sure that you can keep this fire going for you. So what I'm going to do now, let's see, where's my ferro rod? Ferro rod's right here. I'm just going to take the dog tag knife, and I'm going to flip it around in its little sheath here so that I have that little notch showing there. And I'm going to have my paper ready here. And I'm going to go ahead and catch my nice little spark. The titanium one, I've heard, actually really catches a nice spark. This one doesn't do too bad though. Just takes a few flicks. Sometimes you want to really kind of watch when you throw a spark though, because sometimes this will catch and you won't realize it. There we go. Now let's go ahead and get some paper on this. Something's going to burn just a little bit longer, a little bit hotter. And along with that paper, start throwing in some wood. Stuff that's going to give us a little more lunch. There we go. Okay, we'll be back in just a minute with our fire. Alright, now we've got a little base for our fire going. I'm going to take a little bit bigger stick. I've already split it one way, but I'm going to take a little bit bigger stick. Now I'm going to go ahead and split this so I have just a little bit larger wood. What I want to do is take my dog tag, just set it right on the top there, and I'm going to take what's called a baton. This is called batoning. I don't want to use like a rock or a hammer or anything like that, because I'll end up destroying the knife. But I just want to kind of put it there, just tap it just a little bit just to sort of get it started. Now I want to do this on a solid surface. If I were to try and do this on this, it would be bouncing around and I'd have some real problems on my hands. So anyways, I'm just going to kind of start hitting it right straight down into there. Split going here. Work both sides. There we go. Sometimes it'll go down and you can't get it quite all the way, and that's okay. Just kind of stick it here on the side. And sort of do the same thing just to help continue that split. But you want to be careful that you don't go all the way through, because then what's going to end up happening is you're going to be smacking your knife on the concrete. We don't want that. So now, just kind of pry it apart. This is going to give me a little bit smaller wood, yet larger than just the tinder bundle. And these I can just kind of sort of stick on here like this. Now that I've got a good fire going, and I'll keep these off to the side just in case it wants to start going out on me. And now that I've got that going, I'm going to go ahead and take my billy can, where I've got the opening here. The reason that we've got all the holes here is because we know fire needs oxygen. Fire always needs oxygen or it will go out. So we're going to go ahead and just set our billy can right on top of here like this. You can see the fire cooking in there. Here we go. I've got a nice little heater that I can sit here and just sort of feed fire into like this. Basically for the rest of the night. Keep myself nice and warm. This is going to be a nice little heater. I can really feel that. If I had a can of soup or if I had something I could cook in this can, set it right on top there. I mean, you can see right here, this is already starting to get really dark. This surface is already starting to get hot. So, obviously don't touch it. There's a lot of heat coming off of that. And I can cook right on that. And then, go ahead and settle in for the night. Let's go ahead and take my poncho here. I can pull my head all the way through it. Or if need be, I can pull it right up over my head like that, get it down around me. Now if it was cold out, I could take newspaper, things like that, bundle it up and pull it up in here and shove it in here. But for now, this is going to be good, and what I want to do is I'm going to want to sleep with this in my hand, but I want to keep it in its sheath so I'm not cutting myself that way in the event I'm suddenly woke up by a bad situation. I've got a little defensive weapon. So that's it. Keep it real and stay safe.